Everyone can hear me well? Yes, I remember it's Friday, so we will give all our attention to all of you, but in a few minutes. Yes, if that's okay. Most of our brothers and sisters in the human condition spend their life with the uncanny feeling that something is missing. There has to be more to life than this, they say. And yet, very few are able to truly undertake the exploration of that which is beyond the perceivable universe. Because Maya is so compelling, even if you decide to undertake the exploration of that which is beyond perception, it creates enough distraction, events, things happening to keep us caught up in this. And even those with an intention to come to God leave it for tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And soon it is time to go. And then most actually have created a comfortable conceptual or mental relationship with their idea of God. Because to come to a true meeting with God needs a certain amount of getting over yourself. And to live in His presence all the time needs even more getting over yourself. So it can sound strange that how is it that to come to the true self, I'm saying we need to get over ourselves. You see? So that which we need to get over ourselves, that is the identity, the ego, the idea we have of ourselves. Many are also undertaking the spiritual quest to elevate themselves. And many of you new to Satsang because hopefully if you've been here long enough, I've hammered it out of you. But if you're new to Satsang, then you may also have the idea that to come to this is to then eventually come to some sort of mastery and then to come to some sort of place where you'll have people who can follow you and these kind of things. But all of that is just byproducts. You see, if that happens, it is just byproducts. Because if you're truly sharing spirituality, then what does sharing spirituality mean? Must be sharing spirit. And sharing spirit is what? Sharing the path or the way, the pathless path to living in God's presence. Spirit is God's presence, Atma. To get to Atma, to get to God's presence, if the me is taking too much room, if the me is taking too much focus, then it will just seem like an idea. Most just have an idea of Atma. You must come to the living discovery of Atma. That which is beyond birth and death. If you talk to your spiritual friends or friends who are into spirituality in some way, even those will mostly tell you, but that is too far-fetched a notion. The idea is to come to peace through spirituality, to the end of suffering through spirituality, to come to the discovery of God and to live in His light seems too far-fetched an idea. But what we are really then saying is that how is that spirituality at all? If the focus is not spirit, if the focus is the me coming to a particular state, and all of us may have started this way. All of us may have started this way that we wanted to come to the end of suffering, wanted to find peace. Maybe some of us wanted to live in a constant bliss, which we may have experienced in some meditative states or some spontaneous states. So we said, I want that. I want to live in that. You see? But once you get a sense of what the project is, then we must not clamor for that, hanker for that. Because I was like saying the other day that you wanted to fill your stomach. You said, okay, I will enter this darshini and I will have some idli vada. Darshini turned out to be something else only. And there you laid out the best 7-course meal that will fulfill you forever, satisfy you forever. Then you can't say, no, I don't want, I just came for idli vada. You say like that? And it sounds ludicrous as I put it this way, but many of us find ourselves stuck in these kind of ideas. So the first question really to ask is whether God is real or not. And if you apply the Vedantic definition of reality, which means that which does not come and go, Then if God is real, then where must He be now? If He does not come and go, He must be here. So what is the difficulty in finding Him then? Huh? God is real? You're here probably, unless you were dragged by friends or family. You're here because you must already have some sense that you're looking for a God which is reality. And then you cannot even counter that fact that reality must be here and now. So then the question is, if God is real and He is here and now, then what is the difficulty in finding Him? And there we must follow the clues of the sages. The sages have told us that which comes and goes is not here. So take that literally. Tell me right now what doesn't come and go. Is it to be found in the realm of perception? Then tell me that which doesn't come and go, which is beyond perception. Have we gone too far already? This is literally the starting point. And this starting point may be irritating to the mind because the mind grasps on things which are perceived, or at best grasps on concepts which it thinks are very high sounding concepts. But to come to a true meeting with that, which is beyond perception, we need to do it another way, which we're not used to. How many of you are following me still? So don't lose track, because here the mind will start distracting you with ideas. So we're looking for God, which is reality, because spirituality, you're here because of spirituality. And spirituality is to come to God's presence, which is also called the Atma, or Holy Spirit, or consciousness, or beingness, I amness, whatever you want to call it. So is there this presence here now? How do you know? Is God here now? And how do you know? Is it just an idea that we have? Or is it a reality? Yes, ideally, if you're following, then you should be stuck at some point. Because I've already said that that which comes and goes is not real. And I'm saying, are you finding God? Then you must be finding that which is beyond the visible, isn't it? Because every perception comes and goes. So where are we? How many of us can confirm that beyond perception, God's presence is known, it is alive, it is here? Can you confirm? Yes. Some yes, some no. It's good, but the important thing is to check. So can't check with your senses, can't just think about it. Now what do you have left? Intuition. What is that? This sounds like a nice idea. Is there something called intuition? Intrinsic. Intrinsic, yes. So intrinsic to what? Yeah, so you have an idea of it. Not idea. Then so the clue is you know that you are, I am. How do you know? She's right. Intuitively, intrinsically. But what is that? Is it going to become another compartment in our head saying that I know this intuitively and we're just hiding behind the concepts of what we think we know? Or can we really make the claim of intuitive insight? Do you exist? Can you stop existing? Try. Turn off existence right now. Don't speculate, because some of you answer and say, yes, but what if I'm asleep? But you can't say that, no, if you're asleep. So, that right now. Don't speculate. If your sight was to go away, would you still exist? If your hearing was to go away right now, would you still exist? And if some of you have trouble with the word exist, would you still be awake? For provisionally, let's use that. So sight is gone, hearing is gone, touch is gone, taste is gone, smell is gone. You still exist? How are you confirming that? Huh? Huh? So, are you confirming it in the sense, what color is this? It can't be that tough. Too much inward facing, is it? This is yellow. Huh? So, how is that known? If I tell you it is red, you will fight with me also, no? You see, say, Father, you've gone too old. You've lost it. You see? You say, not red, yellow. So you perceive the yellowness of it. You perceive the attribute, the color yellow. Is it square? You perceive the roundness of it, the attribute of roundness. So those are the gunas. No? Now, your existence, what color is it? Color, shape, square or round? So you don't know that you exist because you can't tell me any attributes. Huh? But, but you do, isn't it? So through what instrument, through what mode of knowledge are you confirming that which is beyond perception? You see? Now the beautiful thing about this is that some of you may say, I do actually perceive like the subtlest vibration. You see? I do actually perceive, like when I ask you, when you ask me, can you stop being? And I try to stop being, I actually come across something which I can't really define, yeah? But it's here. Why is it so difficult to talk about that? Because unlike this coaster, that is in a woo-woo land. You see? So it is, you're perceiving it and you're not perceiving it. You see, it's like the subtlest vibration. Yes or no? Lost me? No. When I say, can you stop being? You check on something and you confirm that you can't stop being, isn't it? You see? And you check on your being, your existence. But you don't come back with saying, okay, in my heart region, there's a subtlest vibration, that is my being. You see? You say you notice that being, you notice that vibration, but your being is unlimited. That's actually crazy, no? You see? It's like saying that, oh, you were holding the coaster in your hand the other day, but in actuality it's unlimited. On what basis can we make that claim? Following? On what basis can we make that claim of limitlessness? That is intuition. So although at the tip of the iceberg of beingness is the presence, which we call the Atma, which you can sense. When you say, can you stop being? You can sense God's presence is here. You see? But when I say, how big is it? What are its boundaries? You say it is boundless. And boundless is not possible to perceive. Able to follow? Tell me where you stuck. Yeah, try to stop being. How do you know that you can't stop?
I can't figure out how to do it further.
Just don't be right now. Don't exist. There's no how to it. Succeeded? No. You're still here. What confirms to you, which is beyond sight, smell, touch, taste, all of these things, that you're still here? How do you know that you're still here? I say that you're lying, you're not here. What will you say? Huh? What will you say? You're here. How you know? You know it because you're thinking I am here? Huh? If you forgot all language, would you still be here?
I will know.
So it can't be a thought because a thought is language, isn't it? So you're not thinking you are here. Is it something that you're perceiving like this yellow thing?
No.
It's not. So what is this already beyond perception and thinking? And you're willing to commit to that, isn't it? You're willing to say, but I am here. This I am is the same I am which in the biblical way is written. God said, I am that I am. This is the presence of the Atma within. Why is the Atma special? Because it is made of God. God's presence. It is uncaused in a human way.
The knowing is clear. That
The knowing is clear.
Yes, but
okay, the knowing of
I am.
okay, the knowing of I am. This knowing is what? Is it sight?
No.
It's none of the senses?
No.
And what is this knowing?
feels like a conviction that
But a conviction would need a thought. A conviction is a strongly held belief. A belief is based on thought. Okay? Suppose you were strongly convinced otherwise, that you're not here, that you don't know. Still, you can't deny this, isn't it?
yes,
So it's beyond thinking, beyond that. So this knowing of presence, this knowingness, this awareness is what you really are. Like Part's shirt which says that which is not. Because that which knows presence is beyond being and not being. So you are that which is beyond any attribute. The Shiva reality of what you are.
but when you speak about the sensation, there's nothing like that felt here.
Okay. So you don't find the primordial vibration of the self. Leave it. Just remain with that knowing of the presence. Then in a few days, weeks, months, years, we can talk more about it. We can still talk. But don't worry yourself about the nature, the mixed nature of Atma, which is both the subtlest phenomena as well as that which is beyond all phenomena. Because even you will say that there's a sense that I have of my being. You see, there's a sense. What is that sense? How is the knowing different from the presence? You say there is a knowing of the presence. Now, too complicated? It's very simple. There's a awareness of this being. Why are we saying like that? We should say there's a beingness of the being. We should say there's an awareness of the aware. You see? Which also we can say, but we'll come to that. But right now we are saying that I am aware of my being, its presence. What is the distinction we are making between these two words? Why have all the sages talked about awareness and beingness? They are the same. I is the same as am. I itself is amming. No? But what is the am?
J'allais dire, tu veux pas la lumière?
That sounded very cool, but I don't know. I don't understand French yet. French always sounds very. C'est mot?
I'm sorry. It's me. Sorry.
You were invoking the Atma.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to
Did you say
disturb.
something embarrassing in French, or it sounded very
No.
cool?
I was talking about light.
About light?
Yes.
What kind of light?
Because there is a family member working to put some lamps and working about on electricity, and I want. But he was in the dark, so I said, "Do you want some light?" But he can't because he's in the dark. He's working on the bulbs.
Satsang. It sounds very.
So sorry.
So what was it that you said? How do you say, do you want some light?
Est-ce que tu veux un peu de lumière?
Okay, there's no chance in this lifetime. We'll just come to all of you soon. It's very satsang, because this presence, this Atma, is also called the light. Enlightenment is to come to this light. You see? To come to God's presence within your absolute reality, which we call the self. It's enlightenment. So what is the distinction between the pure knowingness, the pure awareness, and that which we say is am, is being? How are we able to draw a distinction without a quality? And we can infer, of course, intellectually that there must be then the most subtle quality, at least, to make that distinction. But you have to taste that for yourself. So using inquiry like this, you can use who am I, where am I, can I stop being, am I aware now, without making it intellectual, to contemplate, heart contemplations, meditations in the heart about these beautiful questions, is the path of Jnana Yoga, the path of self-knowledge. Some of you will say, I can't ask myself these questions, it just doesn't resonate. I've tried, I want to follow you, but when you say ask yourself, who am I, or can I stop being, or am I aware now, it just sounds stupid. I can't do it. Yeah? So then is there no hope for me? Is there another route to this? So we can say provisionally, although we are not writing it off forever, but for the moment then, Jnana Yoga may not be suitable for your temperament. But I may ask you, do you feel the presence of love? When you remember a beloved one, it could be a partner, it could be a child, it could be your parents, it could be anyone. A love which is unconditional, it's not a desire, it is not a want, it is not an expectation of reciprocation. It cannot be measured in size. Do you feel a love like that? If you love God, remember the name of God. If you love a child, remember that child's name or face, parents, whatever. Maybe you don't even need to remember anything, you just go to your heart and love is there. So strip it all away of all conditions and all expectations. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? It is coming from the same presence of God. And if you remain in this love, then slowly you will realize that all unconditional love is love for God. It comes from Him and it is to Him, it's the same thing. So this love also can become a beautiful anchor to remain in God's presence, even if you feel that I can't really meet what he's saying about Atma, presence, and inquiry doesn't work for me, I can't ask these questions. You see? Then you must use a prayer, use a mantra, use whatever brings you to this love. Use whatever reminds you of this pure, unconditional love, and remain in the presence of that love till love leads you to its source. And in this process, what will happen is that it will feel like your whole being is being cleansed. Whether you're using the inquiry or you already probably figured that we are talking about bhakti yoga. What we've discussed about love is half of bhakti yoga. So either through jnana or through bhakti, you're getting cleaned up of false conditioning, of avidya, of ignorance. The temptations of the mind start to lose their power. And temptation is not just lust or greed, it's all invitations to take yourself to be a limited object. You see? It tempts you to bring a shape to yourself. So every message from the mind is a temptation to be egoic, to take yourself to be a limited entity. But if you remain in the presence, all these will start to lighten up. This cleanup, this washing machine, is when we started the so-called seeming journey of spirituality. But if you're not remaining in the presence of God, we're not remaining in the love for God, which is any unconditional love, then we haven't even started our journey of spirituality. And we've just been playing with concepts in our head. So coming to spirit is the beginning of spirituality. To remain there for the rest of our life is the culmination of spirituality. So we must not confuse any experience, an awakening experience, any insight coming to you intuitively by the Sadguru's grace. You must not confuse these things to be some sort of end goal. You must not consider it some sort of achievement, because then the spiritual ego will form around it. We must realize that it is the beginning of the process of ever deepening. And in the light of this presence, how simply and intuitively we recognize that my absolute reality, is beyond all attributes. It's completely nirguna. A truly non-phenomenal inside, it seems completely far-fetched in the human condition. That is Atma-Gyan, self-knowledge. That is why the Satsang hall you come to is called the Atma-Gyan Kendra, because that is the core of it. To come to the discovery of God's presence within you, and that which is aware even of that is to come to self-knowledge. Now, some of you may have this question, so okay, if I do all of this, what will I get? क्या मिलेगा मुझे? You'll get more than you can ever imagine or fathom. But if you're grasping for what will I get, what will I get, what will I get, then you will not get. That's why I said the love has to be unconditional. It cannot be grasping, it cannot be feverish, it cannot be rushed. It must be patient, it must be fearless, it must be honest. For God's sake, for love's sake, not for the sake of the ego, not for the sake of me. So, we said that this love is half of bhakti. What is the other half? Servitude. What is servitude? It's scary for most of us, no, in the modern life. Not be servitude, servant to even God. You see? It seems too difficult. But servitude, the simplest way to put it is to follow God's will moment to moment. हुकुम रजाई चलना नानक लिखिया ना. Let thy will be done. It's the biggest embodiment of servitude or bhakti, possibly that we've come across, possibly is Hanuman. Hanumanji. Was he so revered just because he had the deepest love for God? Yes, he did. But also, he was willing to follow Ram's every instruction. Go do this, jump over this ocean. Do, done. Had to it, you see? There was no doubt. So, how will we follow God's will? By being empty of our own self-will first. What is your self-will? It sounds like a fancy thing. Just ask yourself, what do I want? What do you want? That's your self-will. So empty yourself of that. So empty yourself of individual will make you an instrument of God's will. It may sound strange, but try it out. Be empty. Don't grasp, don't want anything at all. The mind will tell you this is very vegetative, your existence will become fully lifeless. But what you will find is the opposite. So alive every moment. And His will moves you. His will speaks these words. They are not being thought about. and I'm hearing them as they are arising. And that is the same for your life also most of the time. But the ego comes post facto, the mind comes post facto also and says, I did this, I said this. So it is less difficult than it sounds, because we already like that for most of our life. Allow him to move you moment to moment. Allow him to put the words in your mouth. Make the actions happen in the body. And soon you will stop considering this body to be you anyway. If you have a body, it is this whole universe. So, how to live a life which is in servitude to God is to allow Him to move you. And once you get used to that, most likely, once you get used to being empty for God in that way, then you may also start receiving guidance in your heart. Then you're able to say that my heart told me to do it. My heart told me to go there. I'm just following my heart. You see the distinction? Many people in the world also say, I just follow my heart. But what are they saying? I'm just emotional. I follow my emotions. This is not that. This is beyond rationality, beyond emotionality. It is to be intuitive, alive to His light. That is why this presence is also called the Sadguru presence, because He is the one true guide. And if He is the one true guide, then which better one to follow than to follow His will? So that which the word may sound oppressive, servitude, but actually it is the great gift that you can give to yourself. Because to follow the true Guru, the true Master within, is the greatest gift. You see? So, whether you inquire into your reality, even if you start off as an atheist, like I did, even if you start off as an atheist, if you start inquiring into the true nature of things, especially the true nature of yourself, you will come to God. And if you are a believer in God and you start inquiring, you start invoking a true meeting of His presence, you will come to God in the form of your own self. Not your identity, but your reality. So you may start with the inquiry, or you may start with the unconditional love for God, or you may make yourself available to serve Him moment to moment. All of this allows us to to find and to remain in God's presence. Don't get stuck in the spiritual halfway house. It is the spiritual halfway house, neither here nor there. We believe in God, but we live for ourselves. We have ideas about spirituality, but we never actually come to true insight. Allow yourself to fully surrender to coming to this discovery. It is the most important thing. The rest of this life, like a dream, has passed us. This body has lived for, apparently, for almost 50 years, 49 soon. So, does it feel like 49 years? Whatever years you've lived, does it feel like that many years? No, just some glimpses of this dream we have in our memory, and soon it will all be gone. What will not go is the Atma, that is eternal life. And everybody in India has heard of this. But don't confuse hearing of it and storing it in a conceptual compartment with the true knowing of it. The true knowing of it is completely different from just having the concept. So this is my provocation, my invitation to all of you. This is the core of what is shared in Satsang, which I sometimes call the way of the heart, as opposed to the way of the head, where most of us, most of our brothers and sisters seem to live. Okay, so now let's go to the broadcast. Before I start getting tantrums. Can move this. Yes, thank you. Okay, I can just keep that. Once we want to live in servitude to God, once we want to live in a deep love for God, once we want to inquire into our true nature, truly, if that's really all that we want. So this want actually sets fire to this realm of chasing, grasping, suffering with desires. You see, our life becomes much more still and focused on what is true, what is real. So once that happens, then we start to deepen in our faith, in our humility, in our gratitude, in our prayerfulness, and in our obedience to God's will. Okay, let's go to Lian.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear. Namaste.
Thank you. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well, yes.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm good like expressing these things. I'll try. I'm hearing very well all what you're saying. I wanted to express that this last time there's like a feeling of uncertainty about life. It's a time of many changes, like it's already a year ago that my mom passed away, and that brought like a lot of changes in life.
Yes.
And yeah, it feels you were speaking about the how compelling is Maya, no, and the events and things that it brings,
Yes.
and it feels a little bit that like it's been like beating me up like this last time. And at the same time, I'm coming to satsang. I feel I can follow, but yes, some how to say, like it feels that some pressure sometimes to take some decisions, or how to move in God and in alignment with not grasping,
Yes.
and sometimes it feels like difficult.
Yes, my dear. It will feel difficult, and in fact, it is not easy. So once you stop expecting it to be easy, then you're prepared for the difficult.
Mm.
It's simple, but not easy. In what way is it simple? That you are now able to recognize your mind, so you can see it. It cannot fool you in that way anymore. And you are able to remain empty and wait for God to move you or God to guide you. But when the mind comes and rushes you and says but you have to decide, you're being a waste, you see, you're being so stupid, and mostly it's about worldly things, like relationships, money, body, these kind of things we get pushed around by the mind. And because we have nurtured it in the past, we have lived in the way of the head for so long, that when it comes with seemingly important and urgent things, then we get pushed by it. And to allow
Yes.
that to come and go, you see, in actuality is very simple, but actually when we face it, when it pushes us, when it attacks us, it can seem difficult. So don't expect it to be easy. If it is all too easy, then I am a bit suspicious. Huh? So a bit suspicious when someone says, yes, 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 you told me, and now it's all easy. I just follow God every moment. It's so easy. I want to look into that one's eyes for a few moments to check. And I hope it is true. It's my blessing that it's true. But many times the mind itself fools us into believing that we are very open and empty.
Yes.
One good trick is to check
Yes.
whether you're only interested in serving God.
Mm.
Are you truly interested in serving God, and are you willing to dedicate yourself fully to that? It doesn't mean
Yes.
that things of the world can't happen, that you have to let go of your responsibilities or you have to become a sadhu and renounce the world. No. Let that play happen on the outside. Let your heart belong to God.
Mm.
Then how will the mind push you?
Yes. Yes, it's clear like the push comes about worldly things. Um, I feel sometimes I can, as you were saying, like let go or let pass the thoughts, or the attacks, let's say. Um, I was going to ask, I'm not sure if I really know how to know if I'm acting from a pure place, or serving God. Um, and sometimes the mind brings the doubt, like maybe you are just waiting something, but you are just really lost, this doubt like plays a little bit.
Yes, yes, yes. It attacks you in that way, you see, through unworthiness, through doubt, through all of those things. So, how do we tell whether we are truly coming from the heart? Firstly, we are not to try and make a mental judgment about these things, you see, because then the mind will oppress you with this judgment, and that is what I call the guy, the one that has understood the concepts of satsang and now wants to authoritatively use the concepts to oppress you. You see, then becomes a spiritual checker guy, which you must not follow. And yet, it is important to discern whether we are truly living in God's light moment to moment. So, we can discern with our heart as well. How do we know that we are following the heart? So, you know, if there's a presence of an unconditional love, like we spoke about, if there is unconditional love, you can trust that it's coming from the heart. But remember, with this love, the mind also tries to fool you and say, yes, yes, this is love, you see, this kind of thing. So, there's a subtler instruction which is that the presence itself is palpable. The presence itself is palpable, and you see that the movement is happening through the presence, through the light of presence, or the guidance is coming from that presence itself. So then you know that you're living truly from the heart. And the subtlest and the most foolproof guidance is that your true non-phenomenal nature is apparent to you in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. And as it continues to remain apparent to you, all movement and guidance is coming while that apparency remains. While that apparency remains. Because the human condition is very limited. We cannot be intuitive and mental at the same time. So, and the non-phenomenal recognition of your true self is apparent only with the instrument of intuition. You see? So, if the reality of yourself is apparent to you and you're being moved in a certain way or you're being guided in a certain way, then you can trust that that is intuitive heart guidance.
Yes.
You see? A simpler tip also is that in day-to-day life, suppose you're just in the midst of something and maybe you're even enjoying some work or some activity that you're doing, then notice if your perception is interrupted as the guidance is being received. You see? Because mind guidance diffuses our attention. I don't know if you heard this from me before. So,
Yes.
so if you're paying attention to this hand, and now also think about something at the same time, this is the only time I'll tell you to think.
Yes, yeah,
Is it?
it's superposed or something.
Yes, it just the outer world seems to get blurry, and then the neither the inner is apparent clearly nor the outer is apparent clearly. So that is what happens. That pure perception is interrupted when we are being mental.
Yes.
But if you're following the heart, then you can just allow it to flow, and you notice that the vibrancy of the world, the light of the world, is not getting diffused. You see? It's subtle also, because what you may notice is that, as often happens here in satsang, is that attention just withdraws. You see? So if that is happening, that's fine, because you're going to your heart anyway. It is not about that. It is the diffusion happens when it's halfway at the head and halfway in the world.
Yes.
So many tools, tricks are available for you to deepen in your heartfelt life, in the way of the heart. But most important is your intention. If your intention is to follow his light, is to love him deeply, is to be in service to him, then even if you're fooled by the mind, God's grace will take care of it. So you don't have to become very obsessive about, am I coming from the heart? Am I coming from the head? Am I coming from the heart? You see, and we especially must not do this with others around us. You are not coming from the heart. I am coming. You must not do it that way. It's meant to bring us to self-knowledge, not meant to be used in sangha arguments and things like that. So
Yes.
just your intention has to be to serve God, and if that intention is true, then the rest of the methods will become more and more apparent.
Yes, I see. Honestly, I feel that sometimes that intention, like, how to say,
Yeah.
like the difficulties, like bring some, sorry, like some doubt in the intention, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, don't worry, don't worry. It's good. It's good to expose that. And I have also said that I'm also a beginner on this path. I'm also just starting to learn to follow His will, and there's so much that I still am foolish about. I can still fall into some mental trap for a moment or two, and that moment or two itself is such a waste. Why would I waste the chance to be in God's light for being right for a moment, or to know something, to be proud of something for a moment? So your heart helps you discern these things and keeps you humble, and it's very important to notice that, you see, because your mind will quickly say, no, no, yes, but you're already like that, you see, you're already, then we're just fooling ourselves actually. So this humility is good to notice that, yes, sometimes my intention is selfish. I do want things for myself. I do want to know and to be right. And that is the work in progress.
Yes.
And this life is a forever work in progress. Forever work in progress. In Papaji said, vigilance till our dying breath.
Yes. Mm. Yes, thank you, Father. Just I feel to pray or say like whatever is blocking or uh, interfering this light, like maybe be solved. Yes.
Very good, very good, very good. Remember that no block has ever been built which is that big that it'll block God's light. That God is more intimate to us than the block which is in front of us. So, whenever the mind tells you that there is a problem, just find your refuge in His presence. He is always with you as your very presence. Bless you, bless you. Let's go to Bodhi.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Father, I don't know what is happening.
Same. No idea what's happening. Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Would you exchange this not knowing for a knowing?
No.
I won't exchange it. It's so free to not know. Because then my heart drives this car. Once I start to know, then I want to drive in the head. When I don't know, then my heart is driving. I don't know what words to speak, yet these words come. Isn't it beautiful like that?
Yes, that's the only way to be.
Well, don't know that.
Father, there is like overwhelming, irrational fear. Like it seems like it's arising from somewhere within. I can't find myself. I've got such a headache, like it's terrible. I am having some. This body has to go for anesthetics on Monday for some checkup.
Okay.
All the results are negative, but they pushed me to go there for like a prevention.
I see.
But sorry that I just have to express that. 12 years ago, they told me that it looks like there is cancer within, and they scared me to death.
Yeah.
And I went there. They dig out half of my tummy, and it was not cancer. They took out healthy organs, and there was just the choice: now be angry at doctors, or just be grateful that I'm still here. So I chose the second one, of course. So it's gratitude. Maybe, I don't know if it's something coming from this, like a traumatic experience, but but I was just so longing to come and like totally melt in you, in God, and it feels like this feels like awakening, Father. This can't go on forever, because this fear is irrational, but fear is just a fear, no matter what the mind brings. I used to faint a lot when I went to see doctors, like all through the life. And this body was in anesthetics for many times, but never something happened horrible. Like this being is totally blessed and protected and all. And it feels like I can't relate to anybody, I don't have any friends left anyway. I can't talk to anybody, just you or God or Guruji, that's all, And that's the only place, sorry, that's the only place where I can find the peace, That's the only place I trust. And but I can't explain it to anybody. God just take me completely. Take me. You take it all. Please don't don't spare anything. There is nobody who can control it anyway.
Yeah.
It's stronger than, oh my God, my head. It's than any individual will,
Yeah.
nothing has been working or following this individual will anyway for some years now. And I don't know why, Father, but I was given so much help from the beginning, having wonderful, blessed masters and teachers. But this trust I feel towards you is incomparable. I don't know why. You know, I trust you. Everything, like, I don't have to think about anything. It's just hard, no. I'm sorry for this, but
No, good.
I can't control it. Just, rather totally, just everything failed in, everything failed but this. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
You're very welcome.
I'm not scared of physical death. That would be like, I say that. Physical death is not scary.
Yes.
To move away from God, that is scary. But it's out of question because I'm of God. I am His, you know. And I pray that He would be clear within my heart enough.
Yes.
He would give me clear guidance, so there would be no hesitation or mistake. I don't want to fail anymore.
Very good.
You know, it can't work like that because that would probably, it's not time to waste, Father. I can't risk anything no more. Than the time of playing and pretending and faking is completely gone. I hope. I can only hope because who knows? I can only hope. So, please, Father, help me. Please.
Your intention to follow him, to follow his light, is very beautiful. And then with that clarity of intention, then the clarity of guidance will become clearer and clearer. So don't have to worry about that aspect of it. You will not make a mistake as long as your intention is truly to be in service to his light.
Thank you. Thank you.
His presence and his assistance are not two different things. His presence and his guidance are not two different things. So to be in his presence then takes care of all the assistance that we need, all the guidance that we need. Everything is already there. All the courage that we need, all the patience that we need, everything is included in his presence.
It, you know, I've got this like, I don't know if I can say the insights or if it's just fantasy. I really like, it feels like I feel Jesus on the cross when he was calling for God.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's happening to me. And it's, I feel like that burning bush. I don't know what it means. Like Moses or somebody saw the burning bush on, and it feels like that. I got this sometimes. When I was younger, it was much more often, but there was this clarity and ease. I don't know why it gets harder and harder, you know. But it felt like I knew it's not true somehow.
Yeah.
But I knew also like this is just something that it has to go through, or I don't know how to say, being experienced. And it felt like maybe I read too many books. I saw too many, heard too many teachings, but there is no disrespect at all. I was the happiest at feet of teachers, you know, masters, I mean. And it felt like...
So don't make any more conclusions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't make any more conclusions. You're going really well. Just stay in your heart. What can often happen is that our heart insights are so beautiful. They're so deep that the mind also rushes in to make conclusions out of them and then makes it part of our narrative and things like that. So
Yes.
just stay strong in your heart, and we don't need to determine or to know anything that is happening. Start, like you said, no, I don't know what is happening. So continue like that. Continue like that.
Thank you, Father. May I say something? I tried. Am I aware now? Can I stop being?
Yeah.
I tried Atma Darshan Samadhi.
Yeah.
I was listening contemplation. It was like happening since morning, and it seems like nothing was just bringing me to the presence. And then I suddenly, like, everything was tried and like failed, not working, seemingly not working. So I sat down, you know, and I was just be.
Yes.
So, like, just be. So, just be. And this Ramana presence, like he was sitting in the orchard, and he was just this neutral witness, like not I. It's just this nothingness, you know.
Yeah.
And just not moving from there.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All my love, all my blessings for your appointment as well, and for everything is His grace.
Yes. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God bless. Thank you.
Let's go to Divan. Namaste.
I'm unable to see you, Master.
You can't see me? You probably have to.
I see you now.
Yes. You can pin that. You can pin it now. So, because otherwise, when you start speaking, then again it'll go.
Thank you. I just felt arising here to like to let you know something that's been happening. So one of the traps I realized is like the presence and is more like rooted as by God's grace. It's like there's a rootedness that goes on and more like subtle as the day goes on, and a deepening of like, I don't know, it's like I feel like to like separate me from truth or separate me from the Father is like trying to throw me out of myself, you know. That's how much the love is. It's just so intense. But sometimes like the mind also uses this and or when I'll be maybe wake up and right? Because you always say like to get up and not just go with the mind and try to confirm like
Can you
the
repeat this part? The
beingness.
mind also uses what?
Like the thing of like joy and these
Ah,
kind of
yes,
things.
yes, yes.
And also because sometimes I feel like the vibration of the Holy Spirit very strong, where it's like it's just feeling, and the mind then like the next day I don't feel like that, and the mind is
Yes,
like,
yes,
yo, the mind is like something is wrong,
yes,
and,
exactly.
and I begin to see where they lead to like the sense of me or like an attachment to even like the manifestation of the Holy Spirit. How that also like comes because something maybe the likes also like a part of me like enjoys the sense of the like the like fire of it or something like this. And so it has also been very um helpful. And I just want to thank you as well for like this God for God's sake statement that you made, because it's like it cuts through all the traps.
Yes, yes,
And I realized sometimes like what's been also happening is like the shift whereby sometimes I feel like I'm moving in like emptiness or something. I feel like my eyes are looking out from like just this empty space, and the sensation of the legs is moving and everything. And other times it's just like being, and I have a sense. I don't know how it's like in emptiness. I just like the sense of it's like there's a mean emptiness, like having this devotion to God and this gratitude. And I don't know. It's very difficult to explain this, but it's like this, and also somebody, and it's from this place where I like hear your words, where I'll just be walking and it just, and that's how I know that somehow you're with me. And there was also something that I felt to tell you, you know, like when I met Papa Moji and then meeting you and everything, I'd not like gone to church for like a long time. And just 2 weeks ago, a friend invited me to church and I went, and I could see like it just made me realize how blessed I was to like come to this. And because I could feel, and then I remember like how when I was going to church as a child, where you go to church and sometimes like maybe singing praises to God, you will feel like there's something like some type of intuitive thing
yes,
like of the Holy Spirit, and you feel it, but immediately you just leave, like, or you just leave the church or something. Like it's like you get drunk or something.
yes, yes,
Maybe like someone was very fine and nice. They just it's like it's all this one. It's just like I don't know if words can really express what I'm trying to say, but
oh, it's
I feel
beautiful.
like you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, 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 yes. It's very
Because
beautiful.
this like it's like there's something that like tries to hide
Yes,
that formless reality of God somehow.
yes,
Like something it tries to it doesn't want you, it's like you're turning to see it, like shows you something. It's like it's no, and I just feel
very good, very good, very good.
thank you.
All my love, you're always welcome, my dear. Bless you, bless you. Okay, let's go to Yannick.
Hello, Father. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, my dear. Only, is it possible to get the camera a little higher? Because your head is.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that is the attempt to cut the head off, but
Yes, exactly. No, I just feel I'm a little bit nervous because I didn't talk to you. I was maybe sort of avoiding you sometimes. I apologize.
No problem, no problem. Take your time, take your time.
Yes, and no. First, I would like to thank you a lot for your availability, continuous and last time on the last satsang, I went for a walk because I needed some space. It was raining outside, and you were speaking about this hidden. I'm a little bit. I think you spoke like right on the spot
Yeah.
about this. I'm also a guy who knew the book of the Power of Now,
Yes.
and there is some area. I live a small tiny part. This is I don't know what to say. On the overall, it's all getting better.
Yeah. Very good.
Like I think that the pride is diminishing a little bit,
Very good, very good.
but I feel more and more like a stronger pull to follow the God's will. Like,
Yes, yes, yes.
and sometimes it's becoming sometimes a little bit like I appear to other people like a fool or something.
Yes, yes. That was
Like
my profile. That was my profile picture for some time on this thing, the fool, because I feel like if we consider ourselves to be anything more than that, it is just foolishness.
now at the moment, my wish is only because I would like to. I don't feel lazy. I want to go to work. I can go to work.
Yeah,
But it's just I'm at the moment that I don't want to lose this opportunity and like of this also his holy company here.
yeah, yeah.
And so I applied for a job like there is a 3 times shift, so
I
there
can.
will be one night shift, so I can come at least one week in 3 weeks to be 3 times in a week
Okay.
to not forget because
Yeah.
forgetfulness.
Yes, yes. Yeah. That sounds good.
Oh,
That sounds good. That sounds good.
no, I don't want to be too long, but just thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.
You're so welcome. And
And I really, I don't know what to say, but it is really intoxicating. This,
very good. Very good.
and thank you for putting this fire for us. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. It is my joy. It is my complete joy. And it's very good. As your pull towards being in this holy fire is increasing, you will find that life finds a way to accommodate that and allow that to grow. So you don't have to
Yeah.
worry as long as your intention is to follow this fire, to be in this fire, then life will make a way to make that happen as well. So
Can I also add last one thing?
yes,
I last days I have also I guess you know more about me than I can imagine, but I mean intuitively or something. But I also feel a strong pull for these questions. Who am I to Ramana Maharshi and I have a book. I want to show you. I have a small book
please do.
like this. This is like this book like, and there is a little bit like on inquiry also.
I see.
This is of the Polish author, Polish teacher that I
I see.
used to in the past. I used to because this is in Polish.
I see.
It is.
What is the title? What is the title of the book?
It's like enlightenment 24 hours per day, 24 hours
Yes.
per something like this.
I want that book also. Then I need to read that book.
But I'm not enlightened. I'm not enlightened. But
I have no idea what it means.
yes, just I want to thank you because the presence, being in the presence of the sangha helps to make like last days I get more concentration and such a fire for these questions.
Yeah. And the
Like
good
when
thing
I,
is that at least I can say I'm enlightened for 8 hours every day. Those are the hours of deep sleep, you know. Everyone is enlightened for those hours. I don't know about the rest of it.
yes, so I don't wanna be hiding like this. I'm just trying to help myself also with this aid little bit.
Yes, yes, yes. You can send me an English copy of that. It may help me also.
She also wrote in English a translation.
I see.
She's also a very good like you teacher. Yes,
No, no. I'm not
yes,
good at
yes,
all languages.
yes, yes. So thank you very much. I hope next time when if I get the opportunity, I will be more relaxed to talk with you.
Yes, yes, yes. Feel free, feel free. Don't worry. You'll get used to it a bit. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Karunamai.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear.
You make me smile because somehow you remember me of Yogiram Surat Kumar, and this joke came in my head that
What is it?
you might be start smoking soon.
I've got everyone in the Sangha to quit, you know this?
Maybe because you need.
They'll beat me up if I start smoking now, after getting everyone else to quit.
No, they will be very happy because you can smoke together.
No, they quit, no? Anyway, tell me what is the joke?
This was the joke.
Oh, this was a joke. Okay. No, that was a joke. So sweet. Okay.
Um, mm, it's a bit
You're crying
harder
because I
to.
didn't like the joke or something. Don't have to. I love the joke. It will be fun.
I'm not crying because of the joke. I guess I'm crying because uh, uh, I I'm longing for him very much in my heart, and
Sorry, can you
I
repeat that part?
yeah, I'm longing for him very much in my heart,
Yes, yes, yes.
and uh, uh, I moved away from him physically, and
I what? I lost?
I didn't lose anything. It's just I moved physically away
I
from
moved
him,
away. I see.
and it's a bit harder to live in the heart without the support that he's offering.
Yes.
And I also find that this now there is a lot. You're jet lagged when you fly from Europe to Australia.
No, I have no idea what you just said.
I said when you fly from Europe to Australia,
Yes.
you get jet lagged. Like
Jet lag. Yes.
the time difference is just it hits your system
Yes, it does.
big times. And I was going to say because I felt tired during satsang and I actually had the coffee despite the fact that it's 10 o'clock in the evening. But still felt tired, and I was wondering how you overcome this sleepiness, and the quote from Ramana came into my head where he was saying that you need to control mind, activity, and sleep. Which I'm not sure.
Mind, activity, and sleep.
The mind, the activity, which I presume it's the activity you get involved in, and the sleep.
And you have to control sleep.
Yeah. I don't know if it's important.
How are you doing on both of those?
I think I'm very poor in both. And that's why I put my hand down. I don't control anything. I was going to say
it happened like this, that I remember coming back from America. Every time I come back, it takes at least 10 days for the sleep patterns to regularize and things like that. So they say, no, that for every hour of time difference, it takes 1 day to settle. So the further you travel, where there is time difference, the more days it takes.
Yeah. And I'm so afraid that I might. I don't know. I don't know if I'm afraid or not. The thing is, I wake up in the night, scared. Like, I don't know, like, there is no I when I wake up. Like, I don't know where I am or who I am or anything like that. But there is this fear that I'm missing something, and then it's connected to a flight. And I'm trying to a flight, like I have to fly somewhere, and I'm missing the plane.
Missing the plane, I see. Yes.
And it's like I forget to go to the airport or something.
Yes. It happens like that. These are common, no? That you have these dreams that you're missing the train or flight or something like that. Or in Indian kids, all Indian kids have this dream that we studied for the wrong exam and gone. Or, you didn't see one side of the question paper, you only answered half. So it's all. I also get these dreams sometimes that I just still know that just like you studied for the wrong exam, you're gone, and then all this is happening, and then you wake up and you feel so relieved. I'm free in this waking state.
How I'm not sure what to make out of this period away.
Make out of it?
Yeah.
Don't make anything out of it. In fact, better not to make anything out of anything. Just come to I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to make a meaning of it rather than.
Just go to sleep. I feel like you need to sleep. See, like if I'm talking to Ananta, then I'll stay awake, So she's like, but she's falling asleep, So my kids used to tell me, when I have the jet lag thing, then everyone says, just fix it one day, don't sleep, and then you'll be fine if you regularize your pattern. So by the time evening, so you are strong all day, then by the time evening comes, on satsang days it is fine, but the other days, 5 o'clock, eyes are closing like that. And then you say, okay, let me watch some TV to keep myself awake, And then it's almost like a drugged sort of state, You just feel so sleepy. So then it's okay. Then you don't have to fix it so soon. You can take a few more days. How does it matter?
It's almost fixed, I think.
Almost.
Since I bought the coffee, I think it's almost gone. And I don't know how to balance. I guess that if there is anything to balance between my urge for him and my children's needs or something, worldly lives.
Yes. Okay, so this part of the question we can look at.
Yeah.
You said that it's not as easy when we're not in the presence of the master, when we're not in satsang physically, and we are at a distance, it seems harder. So then we must trust that God wanted it to be harder for us. But because it is harder, we cannot not do it. It's like oxygen. Just because oxygen is harder to get now doesn't mean you don't breathe oxygen anymore. So whether harder or easier, we must trust that God's grace is putting us in the right circumstances if it is God that we want. And if it is hard, we have to accept that it is hard. You see, the expectation of ease, the expectation of easiness makes it harder.
I don't think I expect anything, but
Yes.
I just pray that I have, I guess, the vigilance you spoke about and the strength to be detached. It's like I'm living my own dream. Everything I desired.
Who else's dream will you live? Live your own dream. You really need to sleep now. Go to sleep. The examples are becoming of dream and sleep.
All my mind projections are becoming through there, and they are coming towards me.
I didn't understand. Was my mind?
The mind projections are just coming to me. Like they are on offer, they are on special.
Yes. They will come. Yes. They will.
You keep an eye on me, okay?
That's a deal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Acha. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
I love you. Thank you.
Samya.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear.
I feel better now. Like since yesterday, my mind was just so much on work. And I don't know, this topic, which mind was so much on pressure on me, is a little bit complicated for me. So maybe it's good to bring to you and have some clarity. As you may also know, like, to keep this body somehow in holy vibration, holy places, and spiritual gathering is like beyond important for me. This is like how I can continue to live, since I'm not able to be in your presence or with Guruji, and it's like vital for me.
Yeah.
And before, it was a blessing for me to be in the tomb. Like, I always go there, and it was like enough. But for some time, even this is not enough. Online meetings are not enough. So I'm just going to other gatherings, and this is just filling my whole being. This is what helps me. But time to time, I lose my clarity, just because I'm sometimes asked, like, not I'm even asked. I don't know how to bring this clearly, but okay, like, I'm following Guruji, and his teaching, his being, his way, undoubtedly what brings me to myself. So I'm not following any teacher. Yet I'm going to other teachers' gathering, because this is what I can be filled with spiritual power. So yes, this is how things for me. But yesterday I felt sometimes, okay, I think this part is enough. I don't know what to bring more. Maybe you.
Yes. So it's like a conflict of if I'm following Guruji, then am I doing the wrong thing by going to other gatherings? But I go there, and then I find that there's a
It's like I'm in
fulfillment.
dilemma.
Yes.
Because my experience is just so obvious to me, like, even though I don't go to these places, then I come to you and I say things like, I wanna die, and etc. This is only because, like, I'm not filled with spiritual energy. This is the only thing. But when I go there, I'm not even listening to them, It's just like my body, my being just drink from these places, just being in these consecrated places. And I
It's
don't
good.
care about.
I have no trouble with that.
Okay.
I have no trouble with that. And I trust you that you say that it is, you feel empty for God, you feel His presence, you feel His light.
This helps me
That is
to
the most,
also,
that is the most important thing.
yes, this is also helps me to, yes. Yes, sometimes because I was not so much clear. Actually, I'm clear on my heart, but when sometimes people ask, like, how you can come if you have teacher. This made me little bit, because I cannot explain to them.
Yes.
Okay.
People will be people, only what to do. As long as you're true to God in your heart, don't have to
Yes,
worry about people.
I am.
Very-
Just sometimes it is not so. Mm, I want to share something with you.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't feel so true by being so much quiet or silent and hiding my path.
Hiding my?
My path. My path. My way. Path. Way.
Path. Okay, path. Yeah.
Yes. I'm hiding it because I see that people cannot understand. So I'm hiding it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to argue if I see that they are not open. But
Yeah.
this is also sometimes I'm not so much clear. It's little bit pressure within me, or like you are not speaking the truth. But I see it's not that I won't speak the truth. If I see any openness, I can. But so it's okay sometimes to hide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hide in the sense that we have to follow our heart in terms of when to share about this and when to not share about this. We are guided from the heart. The heart is not always saying you must share, 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 share. Tell
Yeah.
everyone what your path is. It's not always guiding us in that way. So we can just follow that. So
Yeah, I think I'm following Father.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to you.
Many times I'm at work and many people that I meet, I don't talk about this. It doesn't come. Many times I do end up talking about this because my heart moves in that way. So don't worry about hiding or not hiding. Just allow your heart to move you. You'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. One more thing also. Maybe it's an offering or prayer, as I just share like the condition of this body and how it wants like always holy place, holy vibrations, etc. But at the same time, I just want to offer to you if there's any oversensitivity, any concept which also I don't know, make me in the experience of this. Because one time I heard from Guruji, he said, it was exactly for me, Father, because when I go to Sahaja, anyway, there is no need for details, but he mentioned about something. If he said, if you have concept, you will bring them into existence and you will experience it. And so I don't know. I just wanted to bring if there's any oversensitivity about that and any concept which I'm not even aware, but I'm experiencing that, and because it might, I don't know. I just want to bring it to the light.
So I pray along with you that whatever is maybe hidden or apparent, may you be free from all concepts, may you be free from all mental knowing so that you can rest in the true knowing of God in your heart. All my blessings are for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Because my mind was oppressing me that I didn't go to the gathering yesterday, and oh, you will suffer the other days till you go there again, all this stuff. So that's why I just wanted to bring to not live with it for a few days. So thank you.
Remember that this universe is a plaything of God. It's a toy. It's
Sorry,
a tiny.
Father.
The universe is a tiny toy for God. So if you're in His protection, in His light, the rest He will take care of. You don't have to worry so much.
He does.
Exactly. Very good. Very good.
Thank you so much, Father. He brought me to you, so thank you.
Very good. Very good. Go to Kisha. Namaste, my dear.
Namaste.
Where did she go? Okay.
I'm here.
The hand went. Okay. Yes.
I didn't really have anything to say, but I just really wanted to come up and I don't know. It's these reminders. Excuse me. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. That was probably loud.
No.
These reminders of just make your priority about God, and then everything else will be taken care of. It just brings so much joy. It's just so alive, you know. And it's everything is in that pointer. It's that simple. It's not simple, but it's
Yeah.
it's all there. And it is a constant choice, like it's a constant choosing of God in every moment. It's just, and it's, it's not even knowing how, even. Like, it's just in the choosing.
Yeah. Yes. You want to read you had sent something on the chat?
Sure, I can. Or I can just say it fresh.
Yes, if you like.
It was just realizing that when you say to follow your brothers and sisters, like they're speaking as God and from God, to listen to them and to, wow, that's just, it includes everybody, you know, you can't exclude anyone in that. And if I'm excluding a brother or sister, then I know, if I'm not listening, then I know it's my pride. I know that I am not in God. And it feels like the deepening in this love is that if I'm able to love my brothers and sisters unconditionally, that it's actually, it's God loving himself.
Yes.
And loving me at the same time.
Yes. Beautiful.
It's the only way. And it's just saying God over and over. Like, I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it can't be that, like, that simple. It can't just be that.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. So good. So good.
It is like that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't need to know anything here.
Can you believe how blessed we are? How blessed are we?
I can't believe it.
The simplicity of being able to invoke him, to call him, and his presence is actually here. What a gift, what a blessing. What great love must it be.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
I can't believe it. And I am the worst for this.
You may have some competition with me on that.
Well, I doubt it. You're pretty wonderful. And, you know, it's not about me. Even in that, being the worst, it's not about me, even in that. And I just say, forgive me, Lord, and just correct everything. You know, the prayer has been correct everything, past, present, and future. Just reorientate my life. That's it.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So good. So good. Bless you.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, let's go to Muni.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear.
Thank you. I felt to just come up somehow, if I can. Thank you so much for today's satsang. I don't know, somehow it was like hitting so much home, and just, I don't know, just thank you. Thank you so much. So much. And everyone.
It happens every time someone says like that. Then there are others in the room who are just feeling like,
yeah, I have it also sometimes.
How did I miss that part? Because, you know, they probably were sleepy or they were just slept through most of it or found it like really boring. So the reports are never consistent. Like I hardly get a satsang where everyone says that was really good or everyone says that was really boring, you know. So it just grace plays in these strange ways where it's a strange symphony, you see? That something is spoken from here. I never have a clue about who it is meant for, where it is hitting home, why certain words are coming from here. But I trust His grace that somewhere something helpful may be coming out of this one. And, you know, it's funny that it doesn't have to be. So, when someone says today's satsang was really good, don't have to beat yourself up about it and say, oh, I must not be listening or something like that. You know, it's just meant to play in a symphonic way. Sometimes our attention is there, sometimes it's not there. We just have to make ourselves available. That itself is more than enough.
Yeah, it felt like exactly what you said. It like I also have this experience, but today somehow I don't know, and maybe hopefully it's every day. I don't know. It felt like Gita, like you were saying exactly what I wanted to hear, like some like staying on the wave. Like I don't know how to say it, but it was. Thank you.
I'm very happy to hear this.
Thank you. And maybe can I have a simple question, please?
Yes.
Like just to something. Like it's like because it seems that the only thing that can stop me seemingly from being God's light is believing my next thought. Like, so is every thought that comes and goes not real? It's like, can we let go of every single thought? Because there is like a, there's like a only doubt that like in this past days, so sometimes it comes like a thought, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. I don't. Maybe we're gonna go there. Is this like also just the mind, just to let all of it go?
Yes.
Okay.
So every thought can be let go of, because it is not true that we can be guided only by the mind's voice. True guidance actually comes from the Atma within. So we can safely let go of this mind and allow the heart guidance, God's will, to run our life. And when we follow God's will, it doesn't say that we must follow God's will half the time and the mind's terms the other half of the time. We must always endeavor to follow God's will. When we endeavor to always follow His will, then we may be able to follow His will half the time. But if we say we're going to balance it out, then we're hardly ever going to be in His light, in His will.
So if somebody asks me, because it mostly happens in human interactions, like, okay, what you gonna do? And a thought comes, okay, maybe I'm gonna do this. So I just let this go and wait what the heart says.
Yes,
like,
yes.
let my mouth speak. Okay, I go there or I don't go.
Yes, allow your heart to use your mouth. So, firstly, don't be rushed. You see? Because what happens is, and I was sharing with someone the other day also, that when a question is asked, you see, it is the mind's nature to, like, because of schooling, I don't know what it is, but there's a conditioning that we have in the human condition that it puts us in sort of like a pressure mode, that I better have the right answer, I better answer it fast, because we don't want to look stupid. Especially a question like, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? So if somebody says, what do you want to do? Then you're just like, okay, I better have the answer. And so when we are rushed in that way, then we are already open and conducive to the mind's temptations. You see, it says, oh yeah, just say it like that, or just like this. So don't be scared of looking foolish. Just don't be scared of looking like you don't know anything at all. Then the mind cannot rush you into an image of, somebody who knows everything, who has a plan for their life, who does all of this. And allow your heart to speak. And most people are only concerned about what they have to say next. They're not even listening to you most of the time. So we don't have to worry so much about, how we will come across. Because the other one is also probably worrying about how they are coming across. So just allow yourselves to take your time. And these are the simple ways, you see. We don't have to wait for big opportunities to share God. Really. Just these small, like you said, human interactions, day-to-day interactions are the ways in which we can make ourselves available for His light to use us as an instrument. So safely let every thought go and allow your heart to use this body.
Thank you.
Very good.
There has been maybe a little bit now when you pointed, like in me, like thinking what to say next, like to expose, like something like that, like.
The mind can do that. The mind does come like that, and I noticed that it tries to pretends to be so helpful.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, I don't know whether I heard this from some where, but or I noticed it here. But when you go to a restaurant and you're waiting in the ordering line, the mind keeps offering, what are you going to say, order like that. But it's actually not a difficult thing.
Yeah, or before a phone call, for example, what I'm gonna say, like
Exactly.
something
You
like
don't
that.
have to worry about that, and just actually these are very simple interactions which the heart can do for us. And suppose that what happens is you're at the front of the line at McDonald's, and you're not saying anything because your heart is fine. So, you just so what's going to happen? After they'll give you a minute or two. After that, they'll be like, "Sir, are you going to order? What? What is the plan? Do you know how this works?" You don't worry about those situations, because it's just like a fear that we have of looking stupid or not even knowing what to order at a fast food restaurant or something like that.
So the spiritual life that's trying to like help me all the time, like yeah, like also let this go, like yeah, all their spiritual advices, like
Oh yes, that one you have to be really careful.
yeah,
Because the McDonald's mind is okay.
Yeah.
Well, not okay, so you must let that go also. But the spiritual mind, that will become the ego.
All the advices and like that.
Become the spiritual ego really fast.
Yeah.
The instant you start to think that you know something spiritually, you start to get into trouble.
Yeah. I mean, like the advice is like, don't take shape, don't like whatever, constantly like trying, working on something and.
Let it go. Just let it go.
Okay. But we can keep like, okay, maybe this is funny saying this afterwards, but like the.
Yeah.
Like
pointer or two you can keep.
That's what I mean. Like, because I'm so much rivaling in the questions, like, where are you? Who am I? That's like kind of, I'm using it as much as I can, also with the laugh. So this we can keep.
Yeah, but you have to notice in the sense that you ask yourself, am I aware now?
Yeah.
Or where am I? Or who am I? Then the question should take very little amount of time. You see, it is the remaining in the contemplation in silence that should be the majority of the time. That is when it's a pointer. Otherwise, it's just intellectually thinking, where am I? Am I in this room? I can't be in this room. Because, what is this universe? You see, then that's just thinking. So that is not the way to contemplate. So when you use the pointer, just like, it's like throwing the grenade in there. No?
Exactly. It's like, even
step back.
Yeah. Sometimes when it's enough just the question being asked, like it's seen when it's seen with the question, like, where am I? And in the saying, I can see where I am, like something like that. Yeah, that's the most beautiful somehow.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, maybe if I can last thing, I have as Yannick as like with a little bit now jobs finding out, and if something the mind is pushing is this thing, like this topic of job, and like right now not having any money and like that with family also like I understand them completely, but yeah, with this thing it's a little bit like.
Yes, your heart can do the job also. It is doing the job of running this universe.
Yeah, that's
So don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you. I don't know. I somehow feel like maybe you sensed it somehow. I don't know, but somehow I've been like, oh my God, like somehow like arrogant and pride. I don't know, and somehow this time now, these couple days, and also this situation now being here with being it so challenging that somehow it's I don't know. I feel just so alive right now. I feel so alive, and so I don't know. Like something like very like pure and innocent, and I don't know, just maybe I don't know if this is true, but somehow it was completely like blinded by the spiritual ego or something, like thinking I know something, or like even though that's my worst nightmare somehow, and somehow I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is not even true, but somehow, just even now speaking to, I'm so happy. And
it's very important to notice that. It's very good. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Let me take a minute or two to just elaborate on this aspect of it, because if you're new to satsang, then you can be very confused by what's going on here. Because at the start of satsang, we determine that through insight, that you are that in which even consciousness takes birth, which is that in which even the light of the universe is born. You are that. You see? So it can be confusing when you also hear that, oh, but I'm the most foolish, I'm the stupid servant, beggar servant. So like, what's going on here? On one hand, you say you are the light, you're beyond the light of this universe. On the other hand, you say that you're just a stupid servant who doesn't know anything. This can be confusing to the mind, isn't it? So it's very important to recognize that the play of Maya, the play of this human condition, even after having the recognition, the insight, even after remaining in God's presence, some little bit, the remnant of the me still flutters around. It still flutters around. And if that me is allowed to flutter and to thrive and to feast on spiritual concepts, especially the concepts of which are Advaitic in nature, the finality in nature, then that tiny remnant, the burnt ashes as Bhagavan used to call them, the burnt ashes of the ego, the pride from earlier, then that has the ability to reinvent itself now in a spiritual sort of avatar. And it starts to believe that I know something, I had an awakening experience, I am awareness, I am this, I am that. You see? But that one is very, very sneaky. And to not admit the foolishness of that remnant which remains itself is foolishness. Because to see that everything good is only from God's light, only in God's presence, and that which we take ourselves to be still is just sheer ignorance, avidya to the core. Because if you allow that one to fester, then that is how all the trouble starts. The spiritual pride, the ego, what I've been calling the Ravana mode. So notice that the discomfort, the resistance that comes to taking yourself to be the beggar servant, the fool, you see, that is the remnant that I'm talking about. Because awareness has no problem with any of that. You see, so the resistance that comes, but what about, why servitude? I am that. You see, that is the pride that we need to keep in check. Otherwise, we can easily lose our way. We can easily start to make this about me again instead of God. So that is really important to keep in view. And I'm not the first one to share in this way. There's a tradition that I was not a big fan of initially, but I feel like where this one is at the moment, that seems very, very alive. And that tradition is called the Achinta Bheda Bheda, which means that there's an unfathomable distinction and yet non-distinction between God and myself. So it is true that there is no distinction, that I am that. But it is also true that there is an unmanageable distinction, unfathomable distinction. Now, both of these things being true is achintya, which means unfathomable. We cannot really get this in our mind. So, this is very beautiful to recognize. And one of the simplest thing that we can look at is that it may be in our mind the most enlightened one, the highest sage, you see, but even the highest sage cannot command Atma, cannot command the Holy Spirit. The highest sage can only say, I plead with you, I request you to allow me to be in your presence. You see? But this, even the Atma is in pure servitude to God Himself. You see? So to notice that is very important. And yet it is absolutely true that my reality is that I am that. Your reality is that you are that.
And we keep me in check just in loving God and servitude and
Yes.
Yes.
To love and to serve. Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good. Let's go to Satyam.
Hello, Ananta-ji.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. I have nothing prepared to what I'm going to say. I'm here, and I'm hearing, I'm feeling the presence is here. I feel it. Beautiful. It's I'm fortunate to be in the presence of you, the heart, or whatever how you want to call it, the wordless. This, I'm not doing it, but it's happening, and it's been now 6 months. I've taken this jump from Europe to India, and the European life was almost 30 years in Europe. So it's my system is still. I get overwhelmed by this move. Though it was my own decision, I think I talked to you about it, that I wanted to move so much, and I was reading Hanuman Chalisa like crazy. That please do this for me with the financial. It all got taken care. I don't have to work anymore in India. The finances have been taken care by the Danish government for lifetime. Very lucky. But the first 10 days, it was great, but then it started to hit me. I said, oh my God, like the whole mind started to, what have I done? And because a total lifestyle change, it was like a child. Oh, I go to India. And I was not thinking at all, just listening to, if you want to call it the heart, I don't know. It's the emotional center, if you want to, in my life, I've never been very calculated about how things will be. It's just an impulse. With music also, whatever comes, I don't prepare any pieces. Whatever comes in the moment, I play. So it happened the same way. And then it's like, and the mind starts to spin. So, it's not that I'm doing it on purpose. It's happening. I'm not making an effort like, okay, now I'm going to make myself miserable thinking about that. It's not like that. So I really don't know, but now I'm here. And the point is, am I aware now? Can I stop being there also here with me? And this, whatever this is, which has no time and place, not Rishikesh or not Denmark, that timelessness, whatever, however you want to call it. I don't even want to talk about that because we can't. So this is playing out. And I'm not doing it like, but something is taking my attention to this. And there's a big part of my life which was playing music on the street. I did it all my life. In Europe, in Switzerland, I lived, and I played in trains. So in India, I never did it, but I took that step to do it in Bangalore for the first time. I played in a nukkad where there were many houses and people gathered. It was beautiful response, little kids, they wanted to learn guitar. And it gave me a little push. I said, I was very shy because I don't know, will it be fair to say, because in India, the mindset is not of the street music. People go on proper stages, but that power has brought me here to play music on streets. So, so I'm just sharing this and just request your prayers and blessing that I come more and more here, and this decision which has been taken through this body mind to jump such a big leap. And somewhere I know that there's somewhere a recognition that I'm not in charge here. If I look at my life back, that the way things have happened, I was just being moved. This has been proved many, many times. Some power moved me, and later, whatever, I think it's totally not really, but something is moving. I've been aware of this for a long time. So that's all I'm. And thank you for.
So welcome. So just something is coming to share with you. Maybe it'll be helpful. You said beautifully that there's a greater power that is moving me. No? So what we must do once we recognize that, or we are recognizing that, is that put all our focus on that power which is moving instead of the me. You see, so it's like somebody is tied a rock to a string and is moving it around. You see, if you keep looking at that rock, then you'll get giddy. Put your focus on that power that is moving it, because it is a rare one that comes even to this recognition that there is a greater power that is moving me. You see? Now, after coming to that recognition, what is the wise one to do? The wise one must make the focus of their life, the focus of every narrative, the focus of interest into that power at the center of all of this. Because if it continues to remain about what is happening to me or how that one is moving the me, then it's just going to lead nowhere. You see? So next report when we speak, see if you can, as many times as you said I and me in this report, say God. Let's have a report like that. It's just God, love God, so much God everywhere. That will be music to my ears.
Yeah.
So use that recognition which you're having, that a greater power, a greater force is animating this body mind, and I have nothing to do with that. You see? So then make that your central character, make that the central protagonist of your story. See that, then all the move and the differences in culture, all of that will become secondary, because your eyes are so much set on his life.
Yeah. But I also, I can't lie, because there is also, a big part right now. It's been 6 months, five. There's a lot of missing of my life back in Denmark,
Yeah, and that is why maybe the words came to offer some guidance in this way, that if the focus continues to be on the me, then it will always, the me is very small, no, it's non-existent actually. But even if we believe its existence, it's actually very small. So either way, it is unhappy, here unhappy, there unhappy. It finds ways to be unhappy either way.
There's a seeing of that this personal self is really, it's never really fulfilled anywhere, really. It finds out things to have problems, and there's a clear sense of that this ongoing.
Yes, my heartfelt advice to you is just change the focus, make God central and me secondary.
Yeah. Music has been my expression, so I pray that it comes through music, and
use every talent, every instrument to share his light. Sometimes I feel like when I hear stories of Tukaram and all these great sages in Maharashtra, they just walk from place to place, singing the reminders to come to God, the beautiful bhajans, the beautiful abhangas. So sometimes I wish there was some talent like this here also, and I could go, just walking, singing God's praises. So use everything that you have at your disposal to his service, to his love, to his light. Then you never have to worry about the me.
Because since I'm coming to these meetings, it's not just to fix the little me. There's something more here, that there's a recognition that this person, which we call Anantaji or Father, is more than just this form. There's something within this form which is shining, and something is recognizing there in the heart. So there's a pull. So I'm putting it out.
Very good, very good.
Thank you, Anantaji, Father.
Bless you. Bless you always. Very good, very good. Okay, let's go to Sharat. Have you said anything yet? No.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to say, Master.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
So welcome. So welcome. Very good. All my blessings, all my love. Very good. Keep deepening in this love, in this faith, in this humility. All my blessings are with you. Let's go to Etienne. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much for this beautiful sharing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I just feel to ask about the Heart Temple movement.
Yes.
Because
thank you. Thank you. That is very important. I keep forgetting about reminding everyone.
Yeah, it just came now. I'm just I don't know how to say. I'm very happy having taken some time to go into it, and now I'm so happy about the sharing. And because, yeah, it just was actually waiting somewhere to be experienced, and it's so light and easy, and blessed because it was well prepared inside the Sangha, and so I can just let it happen somehow.
Yes.
And just feel how natural it is to meet each other this way. It is the most natural ever. And I am so happy even to say this now, because I didn't know what was about to say, but I just felt to ask to talk about that, to see how the mind can postpone so much, such a natural thing, and even now, when I'm having sometimes strange feeling, because I feel like when I post my my report about what is happening. I'm happy to do that, and I feel I'm sharing the joy actually.
Yes.
But then the mind comes and says, "Oh, well, look, you're lately you are the only one doing that. Probably it's not needed. It's not. It's just."
It's very good actually. It's very good. I'm glad you're doing it, and thank you for coming up and saying this. I feel like maybe many are feeling shy to share, and also somewhere maybe I need to provide some fresh impetus to this beautiful initiative which came to my heart. So I will, right now the body is feeling a bit empty of energy to share more, but next week in one of the satsangs I feel to share more in detail about just what the heart feeling about this is, because it's so beautiful to allow ourselves to be in service to His light in this way, and it's very good sadhana, seva, satsang for us as well to make sure that we notice our pride and let it go, and to truly allow this body instrument to be in service to His love, His glory, His light.
Yeah.
So thank you for this reminder, and I'm very happy you posted there because it will inspire all of us to deepen in this initiative a little bit more. And I'm happy to get feedback from everyone as well, and how I can make it easier for all of you. I'm happy to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just wondering, because at the beginning I had the feeling we were inspiring each other so much, and now I had the feeling maybe I'm exaggerating or but I'm in this enthusiasm actually still, and I'm actually very happy to feel how right you were when you say what you are lacking is sharing, because I see how the mirror of the satsang is on both sides. It's different sharing, but it's the same actually. And yeah, it's very, very rich satsang is the highest gift of God anyway. I mean, there is nothing else in life. And it's just amazing how unending, how it is an unending deepening. And so simple at the same time. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Very good. I'll share more about this. Thank you very much for this reminder. Very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being in satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Guru Kripa Kevalam. Let me just quickly run through the messages.